Good morning. Today is a very auspicious day, particularly this Purnima, which is dedicated to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the best sun and moon you can see. The moon is a very special moon. And today was the birthday of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I thought that we should remember him, discuss about him. He was a great revolutionary, as a great devotee of Sri Krishna. So please repeat after me. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmani. Oh, namaste. Sri Krishna, that was the main object of worship for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was 1485. It was Dol Purnima evening, and that time the Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Devi, they were blessed with a son in Navadvip, Bengal, India. The father, the Jagannath Mishra, named his newborn son as Vishwambhar, and the mother named him as Nimai. They had another son, elder brother of Vishwambhar. His name was Vishwarupa. Now, when most of you have already read and you know, this family, the whole family, the very special family, the whole family was dedicated to God. The father and the mother, and both the sons, they will become sannyasis. And this family we are discussing, and particularly the Nimai, who afterwards became famous as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for his different contribution. He was very fond of saying Hari Hari. Whenever there will be something, this young little boy, instead of crying or saying something else, he used to say Hari Hari. And people used to call him Gaur Hari for that. Around all the neighbors, they used to love to call him as Gaur Hari, as because he was very fond of shouting Hari Hari. Sometimes he used to cry. He will be crying in Hari Hari, and he will be calling as a Hari Hari. So that it became, the nickname became Gaur Hari. Why Gaur? Another name was Gauranga. Gauranga means his complexion was very bright. Usually in the eastern part among the Bengalis, not that much fairness is there. It's a mixed color. But he was completely different type, almost like white. So they gave him the name Gaura. Gaura means the bright, Anga is the Sharira, the body. Gauranga, one whose body is white. So many names he got. And he was afterwards became, as a sannyasi, got the name Sri Krishna Chaitanya Bharati. We will come to that, the incident, how it happened. And then he became famous as Chaitanya Deva. Sri Krishna Chaitanya was his name, sannyasa name. And Bharati was the Dashanami Sampradaya title. But he became famous as Chaitanya, Chaitanya Deva, and sometimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Deva's birthplace is Navadvip, and the second capital of the famous Bengal's king, Ballal Sen. Those who know the history of Bengal particularly, they know this Sen dynasty is a very famous dynasty. particularly the Ballal Sen, he was a very wonderful warrior, great warrior. At the same time, he was a patron of education and culture. This Ballal Sen, he captured a part of Orissa, whole of Bihar, and complete Bengal. So that was, at his time, Ballal Sen's time, that was his territory. And his soldiers, particularly from the Sundarban area, the coastal area, they were ferocious type of soldiers. The Ballal Sen, the whole of India they knew, and no one ventured to attack him. That was the Sen dynasty. And this Ballal Sen, he used to love to listen to the debates of the scholars. And that was almost the habit of all the kings. They used to appreciate the singers, the dancers, and the painters, and the great scholars, and debate between two different views. So he used to, and he slowly came to Nadia, because on the bank of the Ganga, the holy river, all Hindu, they believe if you take a bath in the Ganga and you become purified. So he shifted his capital, not shifted means he developed a second capital on Nadia. So obviously different cultural people, educated people, capable people, they started assembling over there, and Nadia became very famous as a seat of learning. And in those days, the Nyaya, different philosophies are there, 6 systems of philosophy. Nyaya means debating. Bengalis, they love the debating. If you say something, they will immediately refute with another point. So that debating, they liked it. So developed Nyaya. Only the books were available, teachers were available in now the present day, the UP, Uttar Pradesh. So Bengali students, Brahmins, they used to go over there to learn. And when they complete that study, they will take out all the books from them and say, whatever you have remembered, that you can carry, but no book you can carry. Why? So that those teachers over there, to keep the supremacy. The one Bengali boy went over there, he memorized the whole Nyaya. It's so complicated, even one page. And to understand that, it takes time. So he memorized the whole that, and then when they took out the book, he said, no problem, you can take out all my notes, all my books, it is all in my memory. So he came back in Nadia and reproduced, he started dictating, and 2 of his disciples, students, they reproduced, and that became the Nabbo Nyaya, the new Nyaya, and became more famous. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu studied that Nabbo Nyaya. He was a very highly scholar of that Nabbo Nyaya. Now Ballal Sen's son was Lakshman Sen. He was also, as his father, used to appreciate the scholars and others. So they were living over there very happily. Let us remember a little history so we can understand why God has sent a very holy person in the Sri Chaitanya Bharati over there. So the history started changing. In the Sultan Mahmud of Ghajani, so he defeated the Hindu king Raja Jaipal of Gandhar. Gandhar is present Afghanistan. And Gandhari, the very famous lady, the queen of Delhi, she came from Gandhar. Afghanistan was a part of India, and the kings were the Hindus over there. So the last Hindu king was this, Jaipal. And he was defeated by Sultan Mahmud of Ghajani. Ghajani was nearby. And what he did, it was the battle was in Peshawar. We can understand that those who are from India and if those who study in the maps, you can understand, it was nearby places. He started living over there, this Masud. And then he came to know that India has a lot of wealth. You know what he did? 17 times he raided India, particularly Gujarat. He used to come from there 17 times he did, and took away a lot of gold, but did not capture the land. That is also another thing. Though he started it, and 1001, that was the time, 1001, he came and then he started attacking Indian parts and got a lot of wealth. And that news spreaded all over the Middle East. And they were the very good warriors, and they were not having sufficient wealth. So obviously, when they came to know about the India, and in Hindi, in that language, they used to say, it's a golden bird, and not very difficult to attack. So they started one after another. The 1192, the Muhammad of Ghor, the Ghori, they used to say, Muhammad of Ghor, led the foundation of Muslim rule in India. So it is 11th century, we can say, they started 1192. So first the Ghor came from Afghanistan and they started ruling India. Afterwards, when the Babur came, he was from another portion. Though all in religion they were Muslims, but they are different kings. When the Babur came, he had to fight with these people. So because they were already there from 11th century ruling India. 1202, that was the time when Bakhtiyar Khilji, he first led the Muslim conquest of Bengal. Though it was a difficult terrain, difficult area, because from the north they had to go a far area, because you have to cross the Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Odisha, and all these places. And it was not like this. It was all mostly jungle. The kings were there. And ultimately, they reached to Bengal and captured Bengal. And from then onwards, the Muslims started ruling Bengal. That is 1202. The Bakhtiyar shifted the capital from Navadvip to Gouda. The Gouda, now we know there's still the place is there, the Gouda Bengal, so he shifted that. Though did they actually captured, but they employed the educated Hindus in different administrative position capacities, but their religious spokespersons, Maulavis they are known, they started converting the villagers in great numbers. There are two reasons were there. Caste system. The Brahmins, they were not actually behaving properly with the lower caste people. What the lower caste people? The ordinary people like the carpenter, the cobblers, the sweepers, like this. As because their professions were those things, and these people who used to study the scripture, they used to think, and doing the puja, we are higher than them. So by that way, there was a great gap. And when the Muslims came, they understood that by number, they were less. A few handful. They came all the way from Delhi and started ruling Bengal. And they thought if we are not having the number, and the people should be converted, local people, otherwise we won't be able to rule. So they started converting these people and giving them lot of support from the ruler side. So the Bengal was converted a lot. And if you notice, it is East Bengal. Because most of the people who used to, this type of people used to live in East Bengal. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's origin is from East Bengal. Nowadays, East Bengal. That was one Bengal only. In those days, it was only one Bengal. Now we say East Bengal, West Bengal, etc. So this is a situation. The 1202, the Bakhtiyar Khilji captured and they were ruling. But one thing we notice, this Bakhtiyar Khilji, he defeated the rulers of Delhi. Delhi, they used to ask for the taxes, but the Bengal rulers always said no. Ballal Chand never gave, his son, he also never gave. These people, the Muslims who came and started ruling, they also refused to be under the rule of Delhi. I think tradition continuing. So this is the way they always had. And they employed many Hindus though, but this was the condition. At this time, in the 1485-86, Nimai was born and he started growing up in a wonderful situation. Because at that time, even the Nadia, though it was shifted, but all educated people, they continued living in Nadia because of the Ganga. The affinity of the Ganga, the closeness of the Ganga, the Hindus, they always like to live by the side of the Ganga. So most of the educated people, they lived over there, and he was growing up over there. And will you believe, and their family deity was Raghunath. And Sri Ramakrishna's family deity, again, the Raghu. That means the Sri Ramachandra. These people also used to worship Sri Ramachandra, the Raghunath. And Nimai, as a young boy, was very, very naughty. His brother, elder brother, 8 years older, was very calm and quiet type of person. And he was very attentive in his study. And he used to go and listen to the debates of the senior educated people. So he was learning in that way. There was no problem with him. Bishamba, and he, Vishwarup, and this Bishamba was exactly opposite. And whatever he demanded, it must be given to him immediately. Otherwise, this little boy, he understood the mother, Shachi Devi, never allowed anyone to enter into that shrine of Raghunath without bathing and wash clothes. So he used to threaten the mother, I will go and touch that without bathing unless you give me this thing or that thing. The mother, he used to make the mother compelled to give like that. So sometimes we find that how things are happening. They used to offer the flowers to the god. Suddenly they will notice that he is wearing that garland or taking that the flower from the deity and moving here and there, showing everybody. So look, this is my flower. And the mother used to think, hey, what is happening? How come he get this? We offer it to God, but how this little boy get that flower? And sometimes they will offer food, and this is the system that after offering the food, they are supposed to close the door so that God can privately eat. And after some time they will open. But they found that most of the time that when they open the door of the shrine, this little boy is sitting over there and eating with great joy. The food that was offered to the Ramachandra, the Raghunatha, Sri Ramakrishna's parents, they used to Raghu Veer. This is Raghunath. The Raghunath, this is Sri Ramachandra, and this boy will be sitting and eating. The person, his name was Jagadish Pandit. He organized a puja of Sri Ramachandra. This boy started crying, I need those food. And those food, how can that be? It has been offered to that house, a neighbor's house. Puja is going over there. This boy is crying over here, and he was crying so loudly. Nearby people came and said, what happened to this boy? Some offered fruit he wants. Fruit was given to him, sweets were given to him. He is not contented. Those things offered to him should be given. When these news reached to the Jagadish Pandit, he felt that if I offer this thing to this young boy, my God will accept it. And truly, with great devotion, he brought the whole offering to this little boy, who became very happy, and by that way Jagadish was also happy. Vishwambar used to become calm, and whenever this Vishwarup, the young brother, will go to his elder brother, 8 years old, he used to become very calm. And whatever the brother used to say, he used to listen to that. So that sometimes, and another very special thing, in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, when he was a child, he used to go into trance. And people used to say that he lost his consciousness, just like Sri Ramakrishna. So, and when he used to, if we say fainted, he used to get fainted, lost his external consciousness, his body complexion used to glow 100 times more, as if a light is emanating from his body. Most of the villagers, they observed it, but they were not knowing what is all this. At the age of only 16, his elder brother Vishwarup, when his parents were thinking to, because he completed his study, and as a Brahmin son, he was supposed to start a school, but instead of that, this boy secretly left the home, and people said he has gone to become a sannyasi, because there were other elderly people. This Vishwarup used to go and discuss with them. They told, yes, he expressed many a times his willingness to become a sannyasi, so don't worry, he must have gone to the Himalaya. That was the place where all the sannyasis used to go. He will accept the sannyasa. Maybe he will come back after 12 years. Usually sannyasis after 12 years, they go to see the mother at the motherland. And this time, this Vishwambar, he was 8 years old, he said to his mother before others, don't cry. I will look after you. I am not going to become a sannyasi. I'll be here and serving you. So you need not to cry. All people, they were astounded seeing the responsibility, and really, to keep his words, he became very calm, and that 8 years old boy, and started attending the school and started learning the Sanskrit grammar. He was a grammarian. He learned the Sanskrit grammar very perfectly, and he learned it from Gangadhash Pandit. He also studied Alankara. Alankara means when we say some words, we can use the word in many different ways. And that is the beauty of the language. You can say in a plain way, but at the same time, you can use that language in a many different way. As they used to say, that I memorized, the হরির উপরে হরি বসে শোভা পায়, হরিকে দেখিয়া হরি হরিতে লুকায়. Same Hari, the word Hari, using in so many different ways. হরিকে দেখিয়া হরি হরিতে লুকায়, হরির উপরে হরি বসে শোভা পায়. That means a Hari is sitting on another Hari, and look at the beauty of it. And another Hari is approaching, and this Hari jumping into the water and saving his life. What is all this? Actually, it is a flower on which a frog was there, and when the frog saw a snake is approaching, he jumped into the water to save his life. So this is called Alankara, and many others. In the beautiful way, they used to. So he learned that also. And he was a very great scholar of Nabbo-Naya. He learned the language, he learned the Alankara and the Naya. And when he became 16, naturally his mother was worried that my elder son has already left. This boy should be in the household, and without his knowledge, they arranged the marriage, and he was wedded with the Lakshmi. The first wife was Lakshmi. Why first wife? After the marriage, his mother said, "Will you please go to see my mother, the grandmother, who was living in a faraway place in East Bengal? Because I gave the word that when you grow up, I will send you." The grandmother wanted to say the grandson, and he heard about you. "Will you please go?" Before marriage he could do, but after marriage, I don't know why. But then he said, okay. He started the journey, and you can imagine it was so difficult. You have to walk and walk. That they were only Brahmins. They couldn't even hire the cow-drawn carts also. That was costly for them. They couldn't even pay the money to cross the river by boat. So they were so simple, but they were very holy and educated people. So he started walking, and village after village he crossed. He reached over there, met that old lady. She was very happy. The first time both of them, they are meeting each other, there was no one to introduce them, and then they had to introduce themselves. By that way, after meeting that lady, and wherever he went, that was the system. The rich people, the landlords, used to invite the scholar. When they came to know that the great scholar of Nabbo-Naya, he has come, they used to visit, ask him to visit the houses, they used to give him gift. So with all those gifts and everything, he came back. At the time of coming back, he could hire a cart, so he came back. But by this time, when the Nimai left, this little girl, the newly married girl, Lakshmi, she went to offer the fodder to the cows, and there was a snake, and in the snake bite, this little girl passed away. Nimai naturally brought many gifts for his wife. When he came back, he saw the wife is not there, and he then immediately thought, this world is so temporary. Why should I be in this world? His mind started thinking in that way. There was a gentleman who was famous as Advaita Acharya. His name was Kamalaksha Bhattacharya. This Kamalaksha Bhattacharya was the court priest of a local king. The king means, we can say, the landlord. This Kamalaksha Bhattacharya was there, and that was the tradition of India. Every rich person used to have a family priest. So this family priest used to take care of their pujas, and then they used to have the control their emotions also. That is the very controlling these rich people, because when the money is there, the obviously different type of thoughts comes, and they become angry also because they are having the manpower, money power. This priest used to control them and guide them on the path of religion. So that balancing was always there, including in the families of the landlords. Every big kings they used to have. And the time of Ramachandra also we know they were having. He was one of that type. But the Muslims invaded that area, they captured that area, and this type of people they shifted to Nadia. Nadia was protected. Muslims never disturbed the Nadia because all these educated people were there. This Advaita Acharya, who was the Kamalaksha Bhattacharya, he came to Shantipur, and he was a follower of Shankaracharya philosophy. Darshanami Sampradaya, our famous Shankaracharya, his philosophy, and he took initiation from Madhavendra Puri. Now these are very famous names. The Puri Sampradaya, they is interfering here also. If we see then the life of Sri Ramakrishna Vivekananda, and here also this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Puri Sampradaya. Madhavendra Puri, he was one of the sannyasis of the Dashanami Sampradaya. And Chaitanya will be joining these, so I am just mentioning. So Chaitanya made also, and he was very much impressed by seeing a sannyasi who was Ishwar Puri. The Ishwar Puri, Swami Ishwar Puri, was the disciple of Madhavendra Puri. Obviously Madhavendra Puri became and this our Kamalaksha Bhattacharya, as because he used to always discuss about the Advaita, the people used to call him as Advaita Acharya. Acharya means the teacher, Advaita Acharya. So they forgot his other name, Kamalaksha. And this way it was going on. The Ishwar Puri, he wrote a book on Sri Krishna. Though he was a Darshanami Sampradaya, he wrote a book on Sri Krishna Tattva. What is the true meaning of Sri Krishna? And he gave this book to this young man, Chaitanya, that you should go through and edit the book. He said, see, I don't have any idea about the Sri Krishna. And the way you have written, I don't know. He's a grammarian. So he said, you are a grammarian. You just correct my grammar. Before publishing, I like to see that it is okay. As because he liked that person, he went through the book and he started loving Sri Krishna by reading that book. The Ishwar Puri, he wrote the book, gave to this Nimai to go through it, to edit it, particularly grammar portion, but he started loving that. And his concentration then slowly moved to Sri Krishna. In the meantime, in locality, different type of things started happening. There was a Muslim. His name was Haridas. And people used to call him Jaban Haridas. Jaban means a foreigner. In the word Jaban is a foreigner. The Jaban Haridas, very peculiarly, he won't stop chanting the name Hari, Hari, Hari. Even in the night time, in his room itself, but he will be chanting the whole night. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, like that. Around the people, they became very tired of it. They said either the man has become the mad or unnecessarily he is disturbing us. Wherever he is going, he is shouting like that. So they complained to the Kaji. The Kaji means again like a judge, the Muslim religious judge. The Kaji told, hey, why you are doing like this? You are a Muslim and you are not supposed to take the name of a god of Hindu. But you stop it. But he said, no, it is not possible. I should do it because I get great joy chanting. And the Kaji gave the punishment that go on beating him till he stopped chanting the name. Obviously, the two strong persons started flogging him and they took him round so the other people will see and learn from him. That was a terrible punishment. But people noticed that Haridas is going on enjoying as if the beating is nothing. Backside, the whole back, the skin started peeling because of that. Whole body was full of blood. But this man was going on chanting the name of God and laughing as if enjoying, as if he is not having any body consciousness. These actually terrified this Muslim, the rulers also. They stopped that And not only that, the Kaji came and told, you must be a holy man. Ordinary man cannot bear this. As because the people complained against you, I had to take some decision, but I'm sorry for that. Please forgive me. Kaji came, he took the forgiveness. Others too also, they left. All the Muslims, they left from there, and he was going on chanting the name of Hari, Hari, Hari. That encouraged people to take the name of Hari. So slowly, how these things are happening. Another person came, he was from Birbhum, another part of Bengal, and his name was Kubir. He was a sannyasi, but that called Abadhuta. Abadhuta actually the sannyasis of the Tantra. The Tantrikas, this one type of people, they can marry and settle as a householder, or they can go without marriage as a sannyasi. They are not bound by any law. That's called Abadhuta. They are always on a higher spiritual level. He came to meet Sri Chaitanya afterwards. Why? Because he met a young sannyasi whose name was Vishwarupa, Swami Shankararanya. Swami Shankararanya, Aranya, the Shankararanya, Shankara Aranya. He was Vishwarupa, the elder brother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This person, Abadhuta Nityananda, he met him. And hearing about his young brother in Navadvip, this Abadhuta came and they became so close to each other. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu slowly utilized this whole group, and ultimately he took sannyasa. He took sannyasa from Keshav Bharati. This is Bharati, they are all Dasanami Sampradaya, and got the sannyasa name Sri Krishna Chaitanya Bharati and became famous as Chaitanya Deva or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now the Hindus who converted themselves to get the favor of the rulers became jailers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And they complained to Kaji, that same Islamic judge. Now you know that Dasanami Sampradaya, Shankaracharya, he saw the people, they are coming out of their hearth and home, and they are in the name of God and living a spiritual life without knowing exactly how they should live. And he noticed that some people, they live in the cities and the towns, some by the side of the river, some inside the jungle, some inside the cave, some by the side of the ocean. So then he used to travel whole of India. He gave the different groups. He said Tirtha. Those who used to live, the holy people, used to live near some famous the religious place. So they became Tirtha. Ashrama, a group of people, they used to construct their own cottages, they used to live together, and they call ashrama. Some in the forest, Bana, and Aranya. Bana means not that big jungle, and Aranya, and the deep jungle. Some Giri, Giri means on the hill, Parvata, another type, then Sagara, Saraswati, Bharati, and Puri. These are the 10 sampradaya: Tirtha, Ashrama, Bana, Aranya, Giri, Parvat, Sagar, Saraswati, Bharati, and Puri. These are the 10 sampradayas. We also belong to Puri Sampradaya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in a sannyas from Bharati, but he took initiation from a Puri Sampradaya, Ishvara Puri. So that Puri Sampradaya has great connection in the Bengal Renaissance. With his scriptural knowledge and sharp intellect, Sri Chaitanya started a great revolution. Now that he became very famous, And his idea got completely cleared, and he knew that I have to save my country. So it's a mission to establish dharma. When his mission he took up to establish dharma, and it was, in one hand, he made Hindu religion very simple so that anyone can follow. Friends, we have to remember mostly the Hindus, they used to follow Shankaracharya. Because immediately after the Buddhist, the one after another, the waves used to come. We have to understand the Buddhism came 2,500 years before, and Buddhism make the whole society in a different way. There is only suffering, and to get out of suffering, you have to follow the path of sannyas. That was the main teaching. And you should follow these 8 moral values. And people started getting them converted into that, but they were not knowing exactly what we should do. The Buddha told that you have to develop knowledge within yourself. Atmadipo Bhava, as they used to call. You must know who are you. So that was based on the knowledge. Ordinary people, it was not possible. So they started developing the stupas, not temple, a stupa, a place where they used to keep the relics of Buddha, or without that, they used to assemble over there, started praying, and developed naturally the locally different type of mantras and all, and ultimately they became dualist. So when we are thinking about the ordinary people, we have to understand how they should understand it. So this is the called leadership. A leader should understand a person, what actually will benefit him accordingly. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna asking Swami Vivekananda, you must practice like this. And another person is coming, Master Mahasaya, the recorder of the conversation. He is asking Master Mahasaya, you should practice austerity, and you must fast, you should not do this, you should not do that. Why? Because different type of people, for his betterment, different type of advices. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he understood that majority of the Hindu classes at that time, because the Muslims already ruling for 200 years. From 1100 they came and the 1200 passed, it is 14th century, almost 200 years already over. So you can understand how they were ruling the situation in the society. Now a group of Hindu people, even that time also they were thinking we are higher caste and they are lower caste. So he said, no, religion is for everyone. And thinking about that supreme Brahman, all-pervading consciousness, it is not possible. It is Krishna. So he gave the people Krishna. It became very easy for people. And then mantra, Hare Krishna, that's all. He simplified the whole thing. And that was a very challenging time. So he had to do that. And on the other hand, he removed the wrong application of the so-called caste system. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to go and embrace each and every one. And in the Bengali, the village poetry, they used to say, Koladai, that means he embraces, he accepts each and every one. He was a Brahmin, he was a scholar, he was a sannyasi. Even then, he used to go and embrace each and every one everywhere. The people got the encouragement, oh, we also are someone and we have a religion, we should follow this. So, in the Advaitic concept, he brought into Sri Krishna. And Krishna resides in every being, he said. Advaitic concept was consciousness is in every being. He changed that, Krishna is living in every being. So his famous, very favorite book was Bhagavata and Gita. The Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna. So he started propagating the Bhagavad Gita, and people, they used to explain the Bhagavad Gita in a different way, in the Advaitic way, but he used to say, no, Krishna is the only God. The aim of every worshipper of Krishna must be to lose all individuality and self-consciousness in divine union with the God. That was his teaching. Friends, if we analyze it, we don't have much time, we should not go into that. Veda Aveda Bada, they said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, the philosophy is Veda Aveda Bada. Standing now over here, we won't be able to understand the challenge that he took up. Because the Hindu society was, the iron curtain was there. We are Brahmins and we are only religious people. That was the concept came. Swami Vivekananda, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, why they came and why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna went and cleaned the toilet of a sweeper. People cannot imagine. He went over there and cleaned that only to prove, if we see the American society where everybody is accepted as the same, they don't differentiate, it is not that. The Indian society, even today if you go, and if you are doing that type of work, they won't allow you to sit by your side, even today. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, it was so challenging. So I gave the title, a revolutionary holy person. A revolution he brought, a challenge. And the rulers were Muslims. And we can understand, whoever become the ruler, obviously all these rules you have to accept. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no. If you notice in Bengal, they don't go to temple so much. Because if you, from the traditionally, from the 11th century onwards, it was difficult for them. Who will go to the temple? Mainly the ladies. If they come out, if they go to the temple, the other group, they used to stand over there, they used to come and touch the hand of the ladies. And moment you are touching the hand of a lady, pani grahana, they used to say. Pani means hand. You are holding the hand means that lady becomes yours. Now these people, instead of fighting, because they lost that Kshatriya power, they used to go and drop that boy, the girl, into their house. By that way, people became afraid. They stopped visiting temple. You will notice, Bengalis are not very much interested in visiting temple because it's traditionally. Now it is no problem. But still they don't think. But they worship inside the houses, in the rooms, everywhere. And if you notice in the south, the same reason. They used to construct a temple, they must construct a temple, and all the neighbors around that, they should come to the temple at least once in a week. That became the must for the southern India. Why? Head counting. All the neighbors are there, present or not. With whole family they should visit. And the priest used to count. Oh yeah, all our folks are there, everything is okay. So sometimes we see the social behavior, it comes from the history. The Bengal was under the rule of a different type of culture, a religion, right from 11th century. So obviously it became really difficult to keep the Hindu religion, Sanatana Dharma, to protect that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fought against his own people, those who were very orthodox type. And they used to criticize Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ultimately, he had to go to the Orissa because Orissa was at that time the free country and the king was a Hindu. His name was Prataparudra. He was a very just king and he was a very good warrior also. The Prataparudra, he protected his territory from the attack of the Delhi and from Bengal also. the Muslims, the invasions. So mostly the Hindus, they used to go over there to live. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went over there. He lived over there. Otherwise, it was really, really difficult for him even to stay. His own people, the Orthodox people, they went against him. And the ordinary people, they could not understand actually what they should do. I will give you one example. Much afterwards, after the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna came 1836. That means almost 350, 400 years after. Sri Ramakrishna, he was appreciating Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he called one of a Calcutta person, the aristocrat from Calcutta. He was visiting Sri Ramakrishna in Dakshineswar. He should look at it. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how he has given the religion to everyone, how people are becoming so engrossed in religious fervor and joy. This man looked at the picture and said, oh, they are all lower grade people. The Vaishnavas are lower grade people. We know them. We don't follow Vaishnava. After 400 years, can you imagine? This is the temperament, this is the mentality. It's so difficult to, because of the pride. It is not the religion, it is not the God, it is not the process. It is I am bigger than other people. So this ego, that's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's main teaching, you have to crush your ego. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had to fight this type of closed mentality in the name of caste and religion. And he started developing a beautiful system. Krishna is the only God. And you know that Nam Kirtana practice? Each and every worshipper should lost himself in Krishna. And he developed a beautiful story. That is Radha Krishna. Now it is so famous, the Radha Krishna. There are 4 sampradayas in Vaishnava. Vaishnava sampradayas, 4 are there. And other 3, they don't worship Radha. Only it is Gaudiya Sampradaya, the Sampradaya that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started. Gaudiya means that the capital was Gauda, actually Bengal. The capital was Gauda, so Gaudiya Sampradaya. Sampradaya means the school. This Bengal school of Vaishnava, they started worshipping Radha Krishna. Why? Radha is the symbol of devotion. And what type of devotion? Merging with her beloved one. And it is not fear of God. Oh, if I don't worship God, God will punish me. No fear. It is love. God is my own. I love God. God also loves me. And then I become one with God. So that Radha Krishna concept, of course, afterwards distorted. The movies came and they made it as if our mundane love, a man and a woman, not like that. He wanted to put this, you must love God in such a way you are merging with the God. Same concept of Vedanta. Jivatma merging with the Paramatma. And Jivatma concept is so difficult that you are a light and the Paramatma is also a light. And the Jivatma going and merging as if a small light going and merging with a big light. It is nothing, it's not like that. I am a devotee of God. I love God. I like to listen about God. I like to sing about God. I like to dance for God. And this dancing in the name of God was introduced by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This dancing, and that's called kirtan. Why? You should not hesitate to dance in the name of God. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna used to call his devotees and used to say, dance in the name of God. And they will be hesitating. And you know that all, that rich people, elderly people, they have come to visit and they will be discussing little about religion and go back. When Sri Ramakrishna used to say, now dance now, in the name of God, just to hesitate. He used to tell them, that means you are feeling that you are a body, aware about your body, you are aware about your social status. You cannot forget that. And you are constantly looking what people will say. People will think wrong. Think about God and forget everything. And all these people that you see looking at you, they're also gods. And join in that. The group dancing was introduced by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that unified the Bengal, particularly the lower caste. They were getting converted because of the two reasons. One, temptation from the ruler side, and torture from the orthodox side. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made a great wall and protected them from both sides. That's why he was a revolutionary. And there are 4 schools, I'll just name them. The Vaishnava, that is called Ramanuja. The Ramanuja again, he also said the same thing. Advaita Vedanta is not for ordinary people, so we have to bring it down. So his concentration focus was Vishnu. After that came Madhva. He also Vishnu. He said Vishnu Bhagavan. Why Vishnu? Because Vishnu means all-pervading consciousness. But because we cannot imagine all-pervading consciousness, so if there is a figure, a form, a name, we can imagine it. Shankha Chakra Gada Padmadhari, a huge figure. You cannot look at his face, but you can see the body covered with a golden color cloth and having a mesh so that he can punish, and a chakra that the whole time is controlled, and also a shankha, a conch. He is giving the call to the jivatmas, come to me. And then how? Through devotion. Another hand, he is holding a flower, symbol of devotion. So through devotion, you go to that great God, whom you can imagine because he has a name, he has a form. So Vishnu Bhagavan. Madhva also same. Then came Ballava. The Ballava, he shifted to Krishna. He said instead of Vishnu, it is better Krishna. Because Krishna, he lived with us. The Krishna was having a father and a mother, the friends, the family, just like us. Krishna was the king, Krishna was the pastor, Krishna was everywhere. So it will be better instead of Vishnu, the Krishna. And lastly, the 4th school of Vaishnavas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he added Radha Krishna. It is not only Krishna, it is Radha Krishna. If you go to the south, the Vallabhacharya's followers, Vaishnavas, they will have only Krishna, no Radha Krishna. If you go to Assam, they also only Krishna, not Radha Krishna. It is the only Krishna they will worship, but it is Radha Krishna. Slowly people forgot because of the modern days means you cannot hide anything, you cannot keep anything with yourself. All this goes on publicizing, people know each other, other liked Radha Krishna. So the Krishna is singing for the Radha, Radha is singing for Krishna. It became a very social and natural and normal. And now a group of people, they are also spreading that. So the Krishna consciousness and the Radha Krishna. Radha is actually the symbol of devotion. Aradhita iti Radha, one who is constantly praying to God and cannot think of anything else but God. That's why the complexion of Radha is white. The white color, and they say, well, usually the girls are white, and nothing like that. Why the color is white? Because it's sattva. In sattva, there is nothing but love for God. So Radha is white, this is Sattva Kala. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna asking a Vaishnava, can you tell why the Radha is not called as Maya? Maya Shakti? He gave some answer. Sri Ramakrishna is rectifying immediately. But he had a very good habit. He will never insult person. Just because you don't know, it doesn't matter. He used to say, he told him, Radha had no other thought but God. In Rajaguna, they will have some planning. He should do this, you should do that, this, that. So the Rajaguna. Tamaguna, planning but negative way. We must stop that. We should not allow them. So all plannings are there but negative. Raja planning but positive. Sattva has nothing. So Sattva Guna, they can't work. Only love. The Radha is the symbol of love. When you think of Radha, it is love. So if you go to Vrindavan, they will always say Radha, Radha, not Krishna, Krishna. In Vrindavan is full of Radha. And not only that, I don't know why, it may be because of the sound. I went to a very special place, Nidhuban, where they believe the Krishna and Radha every night they manifest over there and they play whole night. Even they will be keeping the different type of things, and no one is allowed to enter in the night. All are closed. A huge the area full with the trees, like a jungle. Even the monkeys also don't stay in the night. They also go away. Daytime only they come. Night, nothing is there. But if you go every day, the priest will show you that, see, somebody sat over here, somebody lied over here, they played with this thing. That's a faith, belief, whatever. I went to see that. Daytime, lot of monkeys. And naturally, they were all sitting on the narrow path. The monkeys were sitting on that path. Trees are there, they won't go. They'll be sitting there only. So I was thinking, I cannot go over the tree like a Tarjan. They're supposed to go. Now what to do? I have to come back. Then someone told, say Radha, Radha, they will give you the pass. From the distance, that gentleman told, say Radha, Radha. Ek bar Radha, Radha bol dijiye, ye sab hat jayega. Truly, I told Radha, Radha, but I was afraid what reaction will happen. Now when I said Radha, Radha, my God, all they went on one side and allowed me to go. And I went over there, I looked at that particular room, and I saw, when I was coming back, again they were sitting on the narrow passage. I uttered Radhe, Radhe, but there. So Radhe, Radhe, if you say in Vrindavan, you are allowed to go everywhere. Because it is the love, it is the purity. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a personality of love. He couldn't see anything but Krishna. And they say, in the last day, he saw the Krishna in the form of the ocean. So he went to embrace the ocean 2-3 times before he did. And somehow or other, our boatmen, the fishermen, they used to go and pick him up. This time he went deep into the ocean and no one could find his body. So he merged into that ocean, and they say Radha merged into Krishna. Thank you, friends. Thank you for giving me the time to express this unique personality, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was the embodiment of love, and he was the embodiment of openness, no narrowness. Each and every one was to him Krishna. So we should also try to follow that path. Let us say, if there is any question? Let us say, yeah. Not avatar of Sri Radha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considered as the embodiment of love, but not the avatar. I never heard about that. He himself was introducing that. You know, present day, our all that holy places that we go to Vrindavan and Mathura, it was discovered by him. It was all covered by the jungle because hundreds and hundreds of years nothing was there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to meditate and to find out this happened here, this happened there. And the people thought that Krishna is the mystical as a character. No. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discovered he was born over here, he played over here, he used to go through this path, he used to go through that path. In that, he used to meditate and to find out. And he asked his disciples, the Jeev and Rup Sanatan Goswamis, to go and find out and mark that place. Slowly, slowly, it developed into this. This is the contribution of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Swamiji, in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, there is one mention that in the conversation, Sri Ramakrishna says that Sri Krishna wanted to taste the bliss of his own soul. So Radha is that personification.
Yes, the bliss, that means that Vedanta, where the joy, where the happiness, it goes to the soul. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a sannyasi of Darshanami Sampradaya. But at the same time, his main contribution was for the betterment of the ordinary people, and particularly at that time when there was nothing, and as I was telling, from the two sides they were suppressed. From one side, the rulers, Muslims rulers, temptation, you convert yourself and you get all the protection. And from the other side, these people, not at all religious, pretending religious, torturing in the name of casteism. So from these two, he saved these people and gave them a religion which was very simple and no differences. One should follow the sameness. That is his contribution. And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he was a great follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay then, so say Shanti 3 times and we conclude. Om Shanti. 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 Harihi Om. Tat Sat. Friends, you can, we have kept the different colors. Today is actually we are supposed to offer color to the God. So different colors are kept. You can use any color you like or all the 3 and can offer to God mentally. Thank you very much. And there will be prasad also.